Hello everyone! I hope that you're doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Boom Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. As always, I'm so grateful that you're listening, subscribing and commenting. I really appreciate the support. And this is the Malecon, the harborfront area in Puerto Vallarta, so I wanted to do a video here to kind of show you. It's obviously not as busy as it normally would be. This is peak season, but because of COVID and because of the pandemic, obviously the tourism is much lower than normal, but there's still loads of people out and about, as you can see. And a lot of them are wearing masks, a lot of them aren't. So I don't know how it works out, but that's how it is. And in this one, I wanted to speak to you about fear. Recently, I was speaking to a friend of mine, and I was talking to her about a project that I have started recently, that is almost at its completion, maybe 2 or 3 more weeks, and it'll be done. And I've been working on it, and it's been like a little bit crazy and busy, and I've been loving it, obviously. It's brilliant. I'm so lucky I get to do this. But I noticed that she asked me a question about fear, and she was like, what, aren't you afraid that the project won't work out? Don't you have fear in relation to the project? Because the only thing that I was telling her that I was feeling about the project was excitement. I'm really excited about the project. I'm like jumping through my bones, like coming out of my skin excited, kind of thing, right? And so she asked me, she's like, don't you feel fear about the project at all? And I thought about it for a second or two, and this is what I said to her, and I wanted to say the same thing to you because maybe it would be helpful to you. Because what I was thinking was that, there's only 2 ways the project could go. Either it's a success or it's a failure, right? Like there is nothing else, maybe in between somewhere, but really 2 possibilities that we'll consider. So either the project is a success and yay, awesome, great, there's no fear involved in that. Everything works out perfectly and everything's aligned and great. Or the project is a failure and I learned from it. So it's a lesson. And I'm able to use that lesson in order to perhaps do a project in the future that's successful, or perhaps I'm able to teach other people with my successes and my failures, or I'm able to transmute that failure into something new. I don't know, like either way, the failure is also a lesson, and it's also kind of a success if you think about it, right? Like if you think about it, the failure is also a success and the success is a success. So there's really no need to fear, there's nothing negative about the whole situation at all, right? And so that's what I kind of told her. I'm like, well, either the project is successful and awesome, I'm really happy, or it's not, and I learn from it and I move on to another project. And that's what I wanted to share with you, because a lot of you have mentioned that one of the things that you have a hard time with is starting new projects because you have fear involved with it. And of course, in the beginning when I used to do a lot of projects in the past, I always had a lot of fear, but I've kind of been able to alchemize it a bit and kind of transmute it and the way I think about it, because I realized, first of all, obviously it's also because I have a lot of faith in God's plan for me. I have a lot of faith in the universe's directions, and I have a lot of faith in my intuition's guidance. So I'm not really worried, because I know my intuition told me to do this project, and whenever my intuition tells me to do something, I know it's going to be fine. There's a reason why it's telling me to do it. There's no need to worry about what the outcome would be, because the point is to do it. The point is to do the project. That's the whole point of it. And so I know that I have faith in my path, and I know this is the path I'm supposed to be on, because my intuition is very, very clear that I need to do this project. And so as long as I have faith in the universe's path for me, as long as I have faith in my intuition's guidance and the universe's plan for me, or God's plan for me, whatever you want to call it, as long as I have that, there's nothing to worry about. Like there's nothing to fear, because this is what you're supposed to be doing, right? There's no other way about it. This is the path. You're not supposed to be going in any other direction. This is what you're supposed to be doing. This is exactly it. There's no need to even think about it anymore, because if there was something else you were supposed to be doing, you would be doing it, right? So the fact that you're here right now doing this thing, whatever you're doing, means that you're supposed to be doing it, right? And so that is brilliant, because it kind of reduces or removes all the worries, the doubts, the fears, the anxieties from the whole situation, because you don't have to think about all that stuff anymore. all you need to worry about or think about is, okay, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I on the right path? Does it feel like the right path? Is my intuition telling me that I'm on the right path? Is God or the universe telling me I'm on the right path? And if it is, if they are, then okay, you have nothing to worry about, right? Even if the project that you worked really hard on, it turns out to be a complete failure, that was supposed to happen. That was meant to happen. That's exactly how it's supposed to go, because you're supposed to perhaps learn a lesson from it that you wouldn't have learned otherwise. And so really, I think a lot of it obviously comes down to faith, but also realization that this is a benign, loving universe that we live in. It's not here to get us. It's not here to catch us in making a mistake and so it can kind of grab us and put us down or make us feel bad about ourselves. That's not the point of it. That's not what's happening here. Or that's what I believe, is that we live in a really beautiful, loving, kind, benign universe. And it always wants the best for us. And sometimes, the best means that it needs to teach us some lessons. And so surely we have failures, surely we have breakups, surely we have disappointments and frustrations and resentments and all that, of course, because those are all necessary to go on to that path of learning and growing and self-development. But nothing happens without a reason. Nothing happens randomly. It's not happening so that we can suffer for no apparent reason. Everything has a reason for it. Everything has a very divine purpose for it. And so we're kind of going through it in order to go on the path that's been laid out for us, so we can learn at the pace that's meant for us, and we can keep on going ahead to that future that's meant for us, right? So as I said, with this project, there is no fear involved in it, because I'll do it, it'll be fun. I love working on the project. The path itself is beautiful and fun, and I'll do it, and it can go either way, and either success, failure, doesn't matter. Either way, I'm getting the lesson that I need to get. So there's nothing to fear, right? There's no need to fear, but what if people laugh at me? What will they laugh at? What does it matter? I'm doing what God has set out for me. I'm doing what the universe has set out for me. How dare anyone else laugh at it? It doesn't even matter if they say anything about it, because this is my path. This is supposed to be my path, and no one else has a say in it, right? No one else should have a say in it, right? It's between me and the universe. It's between me and God, right? Or me and my intuition. So no one really matters. Everyone else is peripheral to it. It's like a one-way conversation, or a two-way conversation, if you want to call it, between me and that divine presence. And so nothing else really has to poke their nose into the business, because they're not involved in it, right? And so that's what I really want to share with you, because it's important to realize, it has been important for me to realize, that there is nothing to fear on the path, if you're on the right path, right? And of course, that's also, how do you know if you're on the right path? Well, your intuition is going to let you know. But if you're not listening to your intuition, or if you ignore your intuition and it's stopped talking to you, or it's gotten really soft or really low or quiet, then perhaps that's the first step. Build your relationship with your intuition. I have many videos on that, on how to build your relationship with your intuition. So work on that first. Build that relationship with that voice inside of you, that voice of God inside of you, that voice of the universe inside of you, that's constantly talking to you and telling you, okay, this is what you're supposed to do. Don't go right, go left. Or don't go left, go right, kind of thing, right? It's constantly telling you what to do. Go to that store, don't go to that store. If that store is open, check if the store is open, Don't go and meet up with that person. Go meet up with that person. Call that person. Don't call that person. All of this stuff is constantly, all this information is constantly being given to us through our intuition, through God's voice inside of us. And if we just keep on following it, we're going to be on the right path. And so we don't need to have any fear, doubt, anxiety, worry on that path. We just need to follow the path without all of that peripheral nonsense. So that's what I'm kind of doing right now, is I'm just working on the project, not worrying about the peripherals, just keeping on going on the path. Whatever happens with it doesn't really matter, because the point of this path right now that I'm in for the project is to get the project done and out there. And that itself is going to teach me a lot. And then, as I said, it might be a success, might not, it doesn't really matter. And then onwards and upwards we go. Either we keep on building on the project, or we learn from it and we start a new one, or we discard it and then we move on to something completely different, in a completely different genre. It doesn't matter, and it's not important right now. Right now, all I need to do is take one step in front of the other, keep on working on this project, keep on working on the stuff I'm doing, and the next path, the next steps will automatically be revealed to me as I keep on taking the further steps. It's like you don't need to look You don't need to worry about the future steps because it'll come. It's automatically going to be given to you when it's the right time, right? And if it hasn't been given to you right now, it's not the right time. You don't need to worry about it right now. So that's what I wanted to share with you. I don't know if I've ever shared this idea of my intuition and the path with you before, but I thought it would be interesting for me to do that. Let me know what you think about it, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on intuition and the path that's been laid out for you. Do you believe in free will? Do you believe in destiny? How do you look at this whole situation? Let me know in the comments below. And if you have questions, obviously let me know and I shall do a follow-up video. Again, thank you so much for being on my channel. I shall see you the next time around. Bye for now.